Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Ratchet Christian. As always, you know the deal. I'm super excited to be here, and I'm super excited for. I mean, at this point, it's not even he's not even a guest anymore. We're gonna just call him the co-host of the Ratchet Christian show. I want y'all to give a very warm welcome to my husband, Osamu.
Hello,
Yay!
colloquially known as the Hubs.
The
That
hubs.
is
He
me.
gave himself this nickname like 5
This
minutes
isn't even a
ago.
nickname. This is what I am.
He wants to.
I
This
am the
is what I.
Hubs. I don't think you know what a nickname
He
is.
said put on the title screen the hubs, and so this is the hubs. Next time we're not even gonna put Osamu. I'm just gonna put the
That's
hubs.
fine.
Um, this is like super random, and you probably don't like know this, but it's like I think it's so annoying when women refer to their husbands as hubby. Like that's like the one like married woman thing that I
hmm
didn't like pick up. I'm like, no. To
hmm
me, I just the word hubby, I cannot.
I never liked Babe.
You never like babe?
Yeah, I never liked Babe.
I always call you babe.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
crazy.
that's
Why
what's
are you
that's
telling me this
you
stuff?
gotta let me finish. It's like I never liked it, but then I started getting called Babe, and it was different.
Yeah.
But it's a rare thing for me to call you Babe.
Yeah, no, you never call me babe,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, so it's just like, you know,
Yeah. Well, I never
mixed
thought that
feelings.
I would be like a honey girl. Like I never thought I'd be like the girl that would call my man honey, but that's what I
You
call
call
you
me
the
honey,
most.
yeah.
That's what I call you the most. And
Yeah.
I just like love it. It's just so tender and like so grown. I feel like it's not as common as like babe and
Yeah.
baby. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna be eclectic. I'm gonna
It's a
be
little
different.
retro, right?
It's a little retro.
Right?
You know what I mean?
'Cause Babe is like it's like a millennial thing. I feel like Babe is
Yeah.
like millennial specific.
This that grown type of love. I call you
Mhm.
honey. You're my husband. You're
Yeah.
not my boyfriend.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yep. Yep.
Babe is for boyfriends.
And that's
That's
facts. I
retired.
might call you queen. That's for
Yeah, you
wives.
do call me. Oh, period.
So there you go.
Grand rising queen. That's
There
for wives and guys that are trying to catch some fish in the morning.
you- Fish in the morning.
Fish in the morning.
Okay.
That's crazy. Okay. So it's great that we're talking about a little bit about our relationship because we're going to be rehashing the Love Island reunion.
The
And
saga.
I'm just this is the last of it. Okay. I feel like I'm getting rid of a cold, and this is the last of the cold. Okay. This show, Love Island season 7, has been so stressful. I'm so glad that it's over. It was my first time watching it, and it is my last time watching it. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. I'm not going through that again. I'm not gonna rage bait myself like that.
Mm.
And tell them who got me into the show, because I have been seeing clips of it. I had been seeing clips of it on TikTok, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch it. I already know how I am. I already know how I get.
It was me. Like I was just like, hey, let's find a show that we can both watch.
Because there's nothing on.
Because there was nothing on. For me, I don't watch sports or anything like that. I just watch TV shows and movies, and there was nothing on.
Mhm.
So, and then you only will sit down for the most part if it's either something I recommend or it's a reality show that you recommend.
Yeah.
And but there was nothing. So I saw this show was blowing up online. I was like, hey, let's give it a shot.
Mhm.
And yeah, I couldn't even do all the episodes. I just did like a lot of the pivotal ones, and you put me up to speed to stuff that I missed. Like,
Mhm.
but yeah, it was on me. You know what I'm saying?
It was his fault. He's the one that got me engaged into Love Island. Like I said, I didn't watch any of the other seasons before. I was seeing the clips on TikTok and it already looked toxic. And so I would talk to you a little bit about it. So I kind of had a gist of what was going on. And then when we started to watch it, first of all of the episodes, it's like an individual movie. They're over an hour long.
Yeah,
The episodes are very long. There's a
Yep.
lot that happens in each episode.
Mhm.
And towards the end, it just got really draining and exhausting as a viewer. The fandoms, split into different factions.
Wanted
They
to
were
die for
yeah,
these girls.
and I mean, still to this day, it's just
Yeah.
kind of like it just got really crazy. And then
Mhm.
I definitely got like wrapped up in it. I didn't get crazy. I don't leave people hateful comments or anything like that, but I definitely had a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of opinions about it, and I would share it on TikTok because it's like I think with Olandria and Shelly, like as a Black woman,
Mhm.
I can relate to them so much. To see the things that they experience in that villa, I'm like I've experienced some of those things as
Yeah.
well. And so from the very like first episode, like what did you think of it? Were you like, oh, this was a mistake telling her we should watch this? Like,
I was just like, I had no expectations, and then I just watched it. I was like, okay, like everyone on the show is like physically like top tier, like the men and the women, everybody's beautiful, and I was like, so the drama's about to be real.
yeah.
That's why I knew. I was like, okay, this must be what it is.
Mhm.
It must be very drama filled for it to be so popular. And then, yeah, once we got into it, I was like, dang. But it's like we had just gotten that nice TV, and I had basically just lost the TV for a couple of weeks
Yeah.
because you were getting caught up and all this and that. Like, and then, but I mean, honestly, it's just like it's like you get sucked into this narrative, but then
Mhm.
you realize you're like, oh, like, but these aren't like, they're killing kids in Gaza and stuff. It's like,
Mhm.
but then
Mhm.
when you're watching it
Mhm.
and everyone else, like, I don't know what it is, but it captured a phenomenon of like just a group think.
Mhm.
But it's also really relatable, I think, to a lot of women, a lot of these issues, a lot of
Mhm.
these struggles that these girls are going through
Mhm.
in the house, and like,
It wasn't just the
it
girls
was
that was going through stuff. It was the men too.
no, the men
It
were going through
was
stuff too, but it's just like, I didn't know about like pretty girl problems, until like I met you, and I started to seeing the dynamics
Mhm.
where it's just like it's a very adversarial life. Like to be a pretty woman is like
Yeah.
you're competing with other women unconsciously, and it's like nothing you can really do
I
about
would
it
say that
except win. Like,
being a woman is hard in general. Being a pretty woman is hard specifically.
Mhm,
It's not a discourse that I ever really want to have
mhm.
publicly. But you've seen it. You've seen it.
Well, it's just the fact of just like you told me about it. It was a
Mhm.
phenomenon I had never heard of.
Mhm.
But then, I would just see the dynamic, not even just with you, just generally,
Mhm.
because it's different for guys.
Mhm.
Guys are competitive about different things
Mhm.
socially, unconsciously. We behave differently with each other. It's a different set of unconscious social rules that we have, as men and as women. Like, but for you guys, man, I just think honestly, hot take, like being a woman's you guys are more adversarial than like guys are with each other.
We're definitely more
Way more
adversarial
adversarial, like
with each other, but
unconsciously too.
yeah.
Consciously
Unconsciously,
and consciously. Yeah.
subconsciously, on purpose, outside of purpose. And I feel like that's why this show was such a phenomenon
Mhm.
because it spoke to a lot of things in society,
Yeah.
in relationships between women, in
Mhm.
relationships between men and women.
Yep.
And then, to romantic relationships,
Yeah.
friendships, racism. And so what seemed like a silly reality show really spoke to a lot of things that are actually happening out in society,
Yeah.
like for real.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why it triggered so many people and was such a phenomenon for so many people because it touched on so many things
Yeah.
in our lives and just spoke to humanity in general, like people being manipulative, people being narcissistic, certain things that people of certain races are allowed to do and certain things that women of color are not allowed to
Mhm.
do or get
Yeah.
away with. And so it just put a lot of language to the things that we already see out in the ether.
Mhm.
And so I think that's really what it was for me. I always love to drop in there. I'm like, I have a sociology degree. I have a sociology degree. I can't do anything else with it but say that I have one. But but I have a college level education in studying society and human behavior and how people interact with each other. It's always something that's like interested me, and I think that's why I like reality TV so much
Yeah.
because it's just raw human behavior. Even if some of it is scripted, even if some of it is like skewed, it's
Mhm.
still you're watching people have real reactions to maybe fake scenarios,
Yeah.
maybe coerced scenarios, but it's still a reaction that I feel like, oh, okay, I can see a little bit of my humanity in this or that.
Yeah.
And so if you're watching this episode, it's because you've already watched Love Island, hopefully. So we would be here all day trying to summarize everything that happened in all 30 something episodes. So we're just gonna focus
36.
36 episodes. So we're just gonna focus this conversation on the reunion specifically. Go back and watch all the episodes and then watch the reunion. And so I'm going to play some of the clips and you can, we'll share our thoughts on those. But the first thing I feel like Peacock did right was to get Andy Cohen to co-host the reunion. Like, I love watching The Housewives. So you're at this point, you're familiar with who Andy Cohen is.
Yeah.
And he don't play. He's
No.
one of the girls. He can read with the best of them. He's going to hold you accountable. You're not ducking and dodging his questions because he's going to let you do all that talking and go back to the topic at hand. He was like, yeah, so you didn't answer the question. So
Yeah.
when I saw that Andy Cohen was going to be hosting it,
Yeah.
I said, okay.
Yeah.
Because when they were on Love Island, they issued an anti-bully statement against the girl whose face had like a lot of work done. And people were on TikTok dragging her because she had a lot of work done.
I know you're talking about.
And Peacock issued a statement like, hey, we're anti-bullying. We don't condone bullying. And this was like right after the episode. But then when Shelly and Olandria started to get like legit racism,
You're right.
death threats, hatred, Peacock didn't issue nothing. And still to this day, they have not made a formal statement, I don't
Yeah.
think. And so for me, when they had Andy on there, who has, you know, been able to keep up with the best of them, the Real Housewives of Potomac, where they talk about, you know, colorism a lot,
Yeah.
the Real Housewives of Atlanta, where you have Black women that bring up certain topics. I'm
Yeah.
like, Andy Cohen is equipped to do this job. That's the first right thing that Peacock did. That's the first right thing. And I'm getting mad already. We haven't even like showed any of the clips. Like,
I'm just hearing
I'm
these come.
angry.
The best thing that you're giving it, it's like you're an ESPN, like
Yes. Skip.
Yeah. You're the Skip
This
Bayless.
is-
You're the freaking Stephen A. Smith
Yeah,
of this.
I am
It's
the
so
Stephen
funny.
A. Smith of reality TV. Okay?
That is. Hey,
We're gonna play some highlight reels from
I
the
think that's
reunion.
All right. Well, before we play the highlight reels, I have a question for both of you.
Yes, come on.
So obviously, I haven't watched the show. I'll just say that right now. But there's tons of people on the island show. Everybody's beautiful, men and women, all this stuff. There's tons of shows like that.
Mhm.
Why do you think this one captured the imagination of people the way it did? And why did it capture your imagination over all of these other types of shows that do the same thing?
okay.
That's actually a really, really good question. Like, why this show out of like the 50 million
Yeah.
reality TV shows that are out there? Honestly, I think it was because of the audience that it had on TikTok. It captured like the discourse on TikTok. Like it became a conversation on TikTok,
Just beyond
which
that.
I feel like pushed it to be bigger than what it really was, because that's what got me into it. Otherwise I would have not been interested in it. It was the videos and commentary that I was seeing about it on TikTok. It was the clips that I was seeing, and I'm like, oh, like I don't know anything about this show, but I know it's a hot mess. I know that it's a lot going on. So for me, it was just a huge push on TikTok that got my attention initially.
That's what got my attention too. But then you gotta ask yourself, why was there so much discourse on TikTok about it? And it's because I think the show is appealing to a lot of like very primal, visceral things. Everyone's very attractive. So that was pulling in a lot of guys, like, because you see a lot of these, it's like a lot of couples was watching this together because it's about people finding love, but then they're enhancing,
that's what it's about.
right? But then it's like, as a man, you realize like, but there's money here. So I had assumed that, okay, all these dudes are just gonna probably be dogs, just try to be really strategic. And I think some of these girls are going to be too, but then, you know, there's bound to be some emotional whatever. But then when it was like, you know, the initial thing with Huda and what was that first dude she was dating?
Huda and Jeremiah.
Yeah, and I was like, dang, all right, so people were really out here like getting upset about like being broke up and stuff like that. Like, and I was like, okay, so this is a more complicated show, but it just captured all these really visceral things, all the sexy challenges.
It was
you know, like
the voyeurism was really strange. I feel like, and pardon me for saying this on here, I feel like they're trying to normalize like being a cuck. Like we were watching people be so intimately sexual with one another to the point where I'm like, I have to look away at certain seats because I don't need to see somebody kissing somebody that intently. There's a lot. It was just overtly sexual to the point where it's like they're normalizing literally you watching other people have sex or be intimate. And it's like, porn has done that already, but not on daytime TV.
And that was weird to me because it's like, but at the same time, it's also probably a unique point for the show because I think most shows do challenges that are actually challenges, like
physical.
You know, go to the beach and run. But then now these people are just like, you know, spit milk in each other's mouth,
literally spitting milk in each other's mouth.
Pool of it, you know.
Yeah.
And so they understood that, okay, like people are here for the drama. So let's just do sex and drama. I think.
No, it's
what
the two things
what it
that
came
sell.
down to. And that's all that they did. They didn't leave these villas. You know, they didn't have no excursions like other shows. They have events and stuff. They had another villa. That's the most that you would get. You get a date at another place. But the show was actually just really people in a house. They was making dinner. They were making breakfast every day. And then they would have like a sexy challenge every once in a while. Like.
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of wild, but it's very efficient on their part. I think they just had a lot of research and a lot of these other shows, but it's really like at the end of the day, people watch reality TV to see the dramatic interactions that people have in these unique environments.
And with that said, I want us to get into some of these clips from the reunion. So I think we've given y'all a pretty good backdrop of what happened on the show. If you haven't watched it, don't waste your time. But watch my episode. Watch this episode about it.
Honestly,
I feel
that's
like
true.
You'll get a good gist of it. So I just pulled random clips from the reunion, and we'll get into it. Period.
That's Andy Cohen, dude. I've seen enough of these reality shows with him on it. He don't allow.
Yeah.
He knows. I mean, he's dealing with catty people, and so he just knows how to deal with that. I mean, he's kind of sassy himself, so he just know how to handle those.
First
people.
of all, you don't play with Big Andy.
Nah.
Like, she maybe didn't do her research on Andy. He's gonna hold your feet to the fire.
Yeah.
He's gonna hold you accountable, and that's exactly what he came to the reunion to do. And I'm so glad that he did that, because the whole reunion, the way that she came in there, like, la la la, nothing happened. It's okay. I've grown. Like, just laughing about everything, making light of everything. It's like, oh, this is somebody who's like actually mentally ill. Like, I feel like there's something wrong with Huda from what it is that I've seen on TV. And so, again, this is from things that I've seen on TV, but the way that she acted at the reunion is somebody without any remorse, somebody without any regard for the things that she did in real life to actually really hurt people.
Yeah.
She really hurt people on that show. And I'll just say specifically, Huda victimized every single Black cast member on that show. She victimized Jeremiah. She was verbally abusive towards him. She was one of the reasons why he got kicked off of that show. And then she moved on to Chris, personally, was trying to sexually coerce him and, making threats of, if you don't do this, we're not going to have a good day. Then went on podcast, was talking about how he had a small wee-wee, like all of this crazy stuff. And then she moved on to, first, very early on in the show, she got people to start kind of like not liking Olandria, because when Olandria and Shelly and them were almost up for elimination very early on in the show, she's sitting up on the couch with Jeremiah, all like high and mighty, like, oh, I got my man. She's like, y'all deserve better, girl. Y'all deserve better. And Olandria was like, you ain't got to do all that.
Yeah.
Like, we're cool. And I could see the sense of satisfaction that she got from being on the couch and watching them stand at the fire pit, pretending to be a girl's girl, pretending to be like, oh, I have I have y'all's back.
Yeah.
But then when Olandria clocked her in that moment, like, I don't want your sympathy, I don't want your pity, she started crying. And then I feel like that was the first seed that was planted about calling those girls mean girls. And then after that, she went on to, oh, me and Shelly and Chris, like, we can share Chris, da-da-da-da. And then from that discourse, Shelly was labeled a bully. And so all of the people that she personally affected were Black people.
Yeah.
And as they're on the couch bringing this up, mind you, outside of the villa, they have gotten death threats. Outside of the villa, like, they are being attacked. Olandria's TikTok got hacked and taken down. Like, this is real life things that are happening to these people because of the interactions that they had with her, and Huda's fans not liking it. And so to come on this reunion and to just make light of everything, to just laugh and joke and be like, oh, that was such a long time ago. I've grown so much. I'm glad Andy was looking at her like,
what are you talking about?
Be for real.
What
like,
are you talking about?
Like, what are you talking about? That was only a month ago. And I'm so glad that he did that, because he's worked with enough Black women to know that the things that we encounter outside of entertainment, they're real.
Yeah.
And so for me, that was really, really nice. And it just really, really got under my skin. To just see her try to make light of everything and be like, oh, I'm so unbothered. Everything is so funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. The things that you have done to your castmates, specifically your Black castmates, has impacted their lives severely.
Yeah.
And to just act like it's whatever, it's like, it's not whatever.
You need a bad girl on these shows. Every show has had one. Every reality show you've ever showed me, Real Housewives, Love and Marriage, all of them. There's always got to be one problematic individual who can beef with anyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is either, but there's got to be one that can initiate a beef that proliferates enough to where it affects a large majority of the cast members, And so, I mean, Huda, she played her position well. She's probably going to get like if they have any spinoffs or whatever, she'll be on it. Based off of this performance.
I doubt it. And the reason why I doubt that is because she's, as a villain, yes, you play your role, but she's been too divisive. She's been too divisive about a topic that's too touchy, which is racism. There's no company, no smart company that's going to deal with somebody that's that divisive on such a touchy topic. If there's one issue that corporations want to dance around, is racism. That's a scandal that most of them don't want to navigate.
I say companies, this show, the spinoffs. There's the one that's in LA and all that kind of stuff that just popped off.
They
right
ended
after
this season early because it got so bad. They took out one of the challenges, which is the movie night challenges, where they, in the villa, they play back some of the things that you say, and as the whole cast watches. They took that challenge out of this season. This season got so bad that they're like, we're done with it. So I don't see a spinoff with these particular characters happening because the discourse around them has been so divisive.
Okay, maybe you're right then, because it was so. I mean, the viewership has to be
It's not no
record
light
breaking
stuff.
for the series.
Yeah.
But for you to, I didn't know it ended early.
Yeah. I'm
ended
pretty
early.
sure it did. It felt like
I think
did.
it was 36 episodes. Maybe it was just 30. Maybe you were right. But
Yeah.
it was like at least 30. And
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen a show since like Star Trek
Uh-huh.
that like goes over like 10 episodes.
And this season,
It's like-
season alone, they had to send 2 castmates home in the middle of the season for racism.
Yeah,
They sent home a Hispanic girl.
On the LA one.
Yeah, no, this season. In the very beginning of the season, they sent this girl Yulissa home because she was seen on a podcast saying the N-word.
Oh God.
And they came and snatched her up out of that cottage.
There were some people that just disappeared, but they have so many characters
Yeah.
that you don't really notice.
But
I had bought
they
the
were
question.
all because of racism.
What?
Sierra got snatched up out of the cottage because she made a slur towards Asians. So this whole season was just riddled with racism.
Racism's still a problem. Like that.
How can you recap that?
That's crazy.
How can you sell that?
Okay.
It was.
I didn't realize that.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. This season has been so racist.
You know what it is though, is because you're having people have to date strategically, and as a man, you can look at some guys and be like, he don't like her.
Mhm.
You know, you don't know what the reason is, but you're like, you don't like her. And I guess a lot of these people just want FaceTime. So some people just be committing to the bit, just being really fake, but then they think that they can just say whatever they want to say just because they're not on the show cameras. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird. Like, I think that, I don't know. I mean,
it was the things
you're probably
they did
right.
Before.
They won't. I guess you're right. They probably won't.
Yeah, it was the things that these people did before they got into the villa. And can you play the next clip for us, Solomon? I think is Alandria kind of speaking more to that, or it might be another one.
You guys,
Yeah, just keep it rolling.
Period.
Yeah.
For me, Chris was the star of the show.
Yeah.
He was the star of the reunion for me. I remember watching. Honestly, I feel like mostly the guys on the reunion really did a good job, like standing up for themselves. Like Charlie, the British one, Chris, and then Jeremiah standing up for himself. And so what happened with Chris and Huda, I kind of talked about it a little bit. He was from Casa Amor. She brought him in under the guise of like, oh, Shelly, me and you can explore Chris together. And so they get in the villa, sleep together. And then he's trying to kiss her, outside of the bedroom. And she's like, no, I don't want people in our business. And so his whole thing is, it's like, we're doing it.
We're on camera.
And we're on camera doing
Everywhere.
it. And then when people are around, you won't allow me to kiss you. And then towards the end of the season, they, I think, had a couple hours to sleep before they had to go do a challenge. And so they're in the bed together. He's trying to sleep. And she was like, trying to, get it on with him. And he was like, no, I'm trying to sleep. She was like, if you don't turn around right now and cuddle me, you're going to have a very bad day tomorrow. My nigga, who are you?
Whoa.
Who are you talking to?
That's crazy.
Who are you talking to? And he didn't listen to her. He didn't do it. And she's somebody who likes to have her way. She ended up ending things with him and all this whole thing. And so when the season ended, she was going on podcasts talking about like, he barely got the tip in. He's making it seem like I was like begging him. And it's not like it was even da-da-da-da. So she went on podcast trashing him after that. And to get back to what it is that he's saying, Andy during the reunion is asking him like, where do y'all stand? He's like, we're not cool. I don't respect how she spoke about me. I don't respect her. And we will never be friends. And I was like, period.
Yeah, I mean, she traumatized everybody, man. Because she has the guys and the
Victimized.
girls talking about, no, like,
Victimized.
she did me this way, she did me that way.
And then she tried to clean it up before the reunion. She called him 3 days before, and so it's disingenuine.
Yeah,
like this is somebody who I feel like when Huda talks, like no one's home. Like there's no one behind the eyes. When she says that she's sorry, there's no level of sincerity around it, and her actions, I feel like, validate that. And again, I don't know her personally. I can only judge off of the things that I've seen on TV, and I don't see all of it. I'm just basing my opinion off of the things that I see, and from what I get, I'm like, this is somebody who seems to not really have the emotional intelligence to grasp the fact that she hurts people.
Yeah.
Because when she apologized, it's not, I'm sorry that what I did hurt you. It's, I'm sorry if you were hurt. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. It's like, then you're not genuinely sorry.
Yeah.
And for me, for people who can just say, I'm sorry. And her thing is too, it's like when she apologizes, it's not even an apology. It's like, I love you. I wouldn't do that. I love you. I wouldn't do that. It's like, I hate people who weaponize the word I love you. And there's a lot of times where people place I love you in place of I'm sorry, in place of I was wrong. I love you doesn't cover everything. Love is a verb. It's something that you do. It's not something that you say. And so I'm really glad that Chris stood up to her in that moment and was like, well, I'm not finna come up here and fake with you. I don't like you. I don't want you in my life. And
Yeah.
I had seen a discourse on TikTok how somebody had, said that, Chris dealt with Huda perfectly because that's how you deal with narcissists. Narcissists don't change. You don't say, this is what I need for you to do. You say, this is what I don't allow. And so he said, I don't allow people who speak like that to me in my life.
Yeah.
I don't want you around me. Instead of asking her to change, is that this is my boundary. And that's smart. That's really, really smart. And I respected that a lot.
No, I respected it too. I expected everybody to just give really political answers of just like, yeah, we're fine, no
Oh,
problem.
no,
blah,
he
blah.
wasn't having
He's
it.
just like, nah, like, I don't want her in my life. Like,
Yeah.
we don't need to be friends, which is how it would have went anyway.
In real life, right.
So, yeah, kudos to him. It's kind of crazy. Honestly, most of the guys on this show, they acted accordingly. I expected, more problems with the dudes, but like the primary dramas surrounded the women. You know what I'm saying? Like the dudes were actually just trying to have a good time and win some money. It seemed like for the most part.
But that's not what you're there for. You're not there to win money. So that became the problematic part. I don't have any,
though.
No,
You know what I mean?
But that's
Like,
not supposed to be the aim. And if you expressed it is, that's what other people use to throw you under the bus. If you're there for anything other than love, which I'm sure most people are, but if you make the mistake of vocalizing that, now everybody's looking at you sideways,
Yeah. It's unreasonable not to think that. I mean, it's like they put that there for the dramatic element, for that element of like, because it's going to make people act in a particular type of way in pursuit of it, regardless of what people say. You'll see their actions, you'll be like, okay, you're here because like, obviously there's also people that are just there for street clout, what I mean? Like,
for sure.
They don't even care that much about the money, so it's just like, but it's an interesting show. It's like an experiment. It's like a social experiment.
It was a social experiment. It pushed the boundaries, and
it affected the voyeurs, that we were like to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it affected us in a way where it made us have discourse with each other, and it made us like really analyze our own lives, our own relationships, and
it made me go touch grass. I'm like, Esmao,
she's like, I'm not.
Go touch some grass now. Go touch some grass. And so I'm gonna speak to some of like my personal experiences and why I feel like this show kind of triggers me in the way that it did at times. And so hopefully the next clip is the one of Alandria talking to Huda about the racism she faced. Anytime you're apologizing to somebody and you say, I'm sorry, but or I'm sorry, and when you have somebody, and first of all, Huda has a biracial daughter.
Right.
Her daughter is half black.
Yeah.
She herself is raising a black woman.
Yeah.
And so to see how she treated black women on this show is very scary because there's so much of a discourse around being a black child that's being raised by a non-black woman and what that can look like.
Yeah.
And to see it not register to her when Alandria was telling her, like, Huda, I faced racism. Somebody took a picture of me and put it on George Floyd's body and put your face on the cop.
Yeah.
But I know the Huda stands, if you're watching this, you're going to be like, oh, it was a Shelly fan page that did that. It was just a Shelly fan. Whatever. It happened. It happened. And as Alandria is explaining to her all the racism that she's encountering, her thing is, well, I experienced racism too. Let's focus on the topic at hand. Somebody's telling you about how something that people who love you, your fans did. And her thing is, well, I didn't do it. And so for me, I just had to realize, I'm like, they're looking for a level of emotional intelligence in Huda that she does not have. If you cannot understand why you need to take accountability for something that your fans did, even if you didn't do it, then we can't even have that conversation.
It's not even accountability. I think
responsibility.
What I understood from Alandria was that she was just saying, like, you didn't, this is something that involves you. And you said nothing about it.
You said nothing
about
it.
You're saying all this now. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when it counted and it was hurting me, you were silent. Like, and it's like you could have said something in a way that could have
asked her.
That would have had an effect.
She literally asked her. She said, before we even left Fiji, we were in the airport. I told you the things that I was seeing. I asked you to make a post. You said that you would, and then you didn't. So you did know, and you chose not to take action.
Yeah.
And so it's like I just. There was no sincerity in the I'm sorry, because it's like you were well aware and you didn't do anything about it. And people were like, oh, she spoke about it in podcasts, she spoke about it. But it's like, you should make a post that doesn't
Yeah.
disappear in 24 hours. Speaking about it somewhere is not the same thing as making a post that lives on your page and you doubling down with your fans to say, I don't tolerate this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Because the last season, season 6, there was a Middle Eastern girl on there also who ended up being really good friends with 2 Black girls. And when those Black girls were receiving racism, she was like, I don't like none of that.
Yeah.
I don't condone it. I
Because
don't like it. And
you
I
take
don't
power
want
away from that argument they're
Yeah.
making.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they put you as the cop who was beating me down on the ground, who was holding me down and killing me. Why don't you say that's not you?
Right.
Why don't you say I don't get down like that for your own image? Forget me. What about your image?
The crazy thing is, it's like I feel like as the Black community, we're allies to all people, and then people pick and choose when to be allies to us. Huda is Palestinian, and she doesn't represent all Palestinians at all. But for her to have the platform that she has and to not use that to further the cause of her people is despicable to me. As an African woman, I've spoken more about Palestine than Huda has, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I take time on the platform that I have that's not nearly the size of hers, and I stand up for her people because that's what's right.
Yeah.
And so for me to see her victimize another Black woman as I'm using my platform to speak out about her community, it's just like I'm mature enough to not group her in with the rest of the Palestinian people. But to me, I'm like, you're weird and you need to do better. Like, you're so focused on a man and you're so focused on being chosen by these men. Meanwhile, your community needs you. They're being genocided right now, and you can't be bothered to make a direct statement. People are like, oh, she reposts stuff. Anybody can repost something. But if something's going on in Sierra Leone, I will never be quiet about it because I speak about things that aren't going on in my community. Wrong is wrong. And if I have a microphone to say something, I'm going to say something. And so for me, I'm like, she lost me. She never had me, but she especially lost me. And that just made me upset because I'm like, I've been in LA so long that I can just say it was weird. She's weird for that. And I can't.
Is that where she's from originally? She from LA or?
No, she's not from LA. She's Palestinian, but I think she grew up like in North Carolina, South Carolina, whatever it is that it might be. But it's like to not understand that, yes, you didn't do it, but the people who support you are doing it, and you should say something to them. It's just like either you don't have the emotional intelligence or you're just not a kind person, and that you do understand, you just don't care.
Yeah.
So which one is it? And for me, I'm like, I'm done trying to figure it out. Something's wrong with Shorty, and I'm good on her. Like that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have no opinion of her. You know, she was on TV and she didn't. You know, she chose to portray herself the way she did. And I mean, we'll see.
And you're the only one on this show with a kid. You came on there and had sex on camera twice. Like, you came on there left with 2 bodies, no connection.
Oh, she did?
Yes. You have you're raising a young woman and you're on camera doing these sorts of things. And people are like, oh, y'all can say I'm slut shaming, whatever it is, but it's like, you're a mother.
Yeah.
And you have a community that is in need of your voice right now.
Yeah.
And this is what you're doing with your platform.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just
Well, she's on a show, you know. I definitely don't expect you definitely don't expect nobody on Love. If you would have said anything about Gaza or whatever on Love Island, it would have yanked her out too.
I'm not saying say it during the show, but I'm saying what she has spent her time doing after the show, to me, is a misuse of the platform that she has now.
Honestly, that would have been a good little deflection for it too. Like, she must not have a team.
Oh, well, she brought up, she ended up bringing up the fact that she was Palestinian because she was using that against Andy Cohen. She was like, oh, I felt like Andy Cohen, who's a Zionist or whatever, because he's Jewish, was picking on me because I'm Palestinian. It's like, Huda, please.
No.
Like, you have not spoken about these people directly.
You've been mean to apparently you just
stop.
mean. That's what every single person who's interacted with you has said. Men, women, whoever, they have all said that you are mean.
Yeah.
In one way or another, these people say you're mean. So you're generally mean.
Manipulative.
And we've seen it.
And so for me, I think Huda defenders are people who either want to be like Huda or people who've never experienced a Huda. I have had friendships with people like Huda. I have had 2 Hudas in my life. I've had 2 non-Black women treat me in similar ways to how Huda has treated like Shelly and Olandria, as far as when it comes to the microaggression, the victim blaming, the deflecting. And it's like, I'm friends with other non-women of color who I have great relationships with. I'm friends with white women, Asian women. So that's not to say that they're all like this, but I have experienced some who are like this. I have been friends with a white woman who I've had to sit down and let her know, like, the way you spoke to me today, you can never speak to me like that again. The microaggressions that I put up with from you for years, And I've just let it go and let it go. And I just got to a point where I'm like, I'm not putting up with this anymore. And the
Yeah.
next time you speak to me like that, we're going to have a problem. And in that moment, as I was telling her about how she hurt me, she started crying. How you crying, but you victimized me?
That is one of the.
And that's what, and that's a
It's a
hood
hood
move.
move.
That's a hood move. I'm telling you about something that you did to hurt me, and now you're crying.
Yeah.
And I've learned throughout life that it's like, sometimes as Black women, we do ourselves a disservice by being so strong. I've learned to be quick to cry. I've learned to be quick to say, you hurt my feelings. I've learned to be quick to say, you have offended me. I'm not like this superhero woman. I'm not this person that's unbreakable. I'm a woman. I'm soft. I have feelings. I have emotions. And if you hurt me, I'm going to let you know. And if you try to deflect from the situation, make it seem like I'm victimizing you, I'm articulate enough to let you know that's not what happened. And so if you want to cry, let's cry together. And then let's go back to what it is that I was saying, because we're not running away from this topic.
Yeah.
And so I've had, a white woman do me like that. I've been friends with a Middle Eastern woman who was incredibly manipulative towards me, to the point where I always felt like I was like in a romantic relationship with her, and it's like, I just never understood like somebody being like that male centered. I remember telling this specific friend, like, I feel like when it comes to you and a man, like, I'm scared. I feel like you will push me in front of a bus to get to a man. And she's Middle Eastern. I kind of felt like we were like in a silent competition with one another. She kind of wanted me to be like her sidekick, wanted me to be the Robin to her Batman. But it's like, babe, like, I'm the main character of my life. You're not gonna come have me be a supporting character in yours. Like, it never gave that. Like, it never gave that. It never gave that I'm your sidekick.
Stuff.
You know what I mean? To prop
like,
you up in your bad times. You call me when you need something, but then when things are good, I don't hear from you. I don't see you. And so there's a lot of this like energy sometimes when you have friendships with non-Black women, where they want you to be their supporting cast and to support them and prop them up, and when they need something that you're there for them. But if you bring up an instance and when you've been hurt by them, or where they've offended you, they very quickly crumble and make it seem like, oh, I'm so scared, I don't know what to do. I had the same particular, the same Middle Eastern friend start to refer to me like, you're my big sister. You're my big sister. I'm like, I'm not. We're the same age. Don't try to do that. Like, don't try to make me your mammy. Don't try to make me your mom. Don't try to make me your big sister. We are the same age. I'm a woman just like you. I deserve just as much grace. I deserve just as much room to make mistakes. And so I told her, I'm like, you trying to make it seem like I'm like a big sister to you. You're giving yourself an allowance to be immature.
Yeah.
I'm only 6 months older than you. Most of the year, we're the same exact age. You have no excuse for your immaturity. And I'm not. I just don't be having time for it. And it's like, once I drew that boundary, we slowly but surely stopped being friends. And it's a blessing. Like, I just really got to that point in my life where I'm like, I don't play like that when it comes to my friends. I just don't. Like, I give love and respect, and I expect it right back. I'm not asking for more than I give.
Absolutely.
And you have to be that much more diligent in relationships with women who are not Black women. And for me, it's like, I can only be friends with women who are not Black, who are aware of themselves. You got to have some self-awareness. I got to be able to talk to you about racism. I got to be able to let you know when you've offended me. I got to be able to hold you accountable. And if that's too much for you, we will not be friends.
Yeah.
Because I don't play. I'm not here to be your therapist. I'm not here to be your babysitter. And I'm also not here to be your punching bag.
There you go.
Period.
Yeah.
So.
You can't have a good friendship without self-respect, and boundaries. Any relationship needs it, requires it.
Any healthy relationship.
Yep.
Especially friendships. And it's like, to get back to, Huda too, like, she did this whole thing of like, we're a sisterhood, like, I'm a girl's girl. Like, as soon as I hear another woman call themselves a girl's girl, I'm staying away from you. I don't deal with girls because they're usually the worst type of women.
Yeah.
They weaponize that word to, give you some sense of like loyalty to them.
Yeah.
And they don't ever hold themselves to those same standards.
No.
And Huda was the same way. We have a sisterhood. That's another way to get me to get from around you quick. We ain't got no sisterhood. We can be friends. And then eventually we'll get to the point where we're sisters. But if you're throwing around I love yous, you're throwing around the word sisterhood, you're throwing around the word girl's girl within the first month of me meeting you, red flag, red flag, red flag. I'm running the opposite direction, because most of the time, those are the most manipulative type of women that I've encountered in my personal life. And Huda rang true to that stereotype.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's easier being a guy in that sense. A lot of times it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Like, when a guy is just gonna come and manipulate or just be a problem for you, we don't really, because the guys will just, men are more likely to spend time by themselves. So it's like, if it doesn't work out, we're like, whatever. This guy's kind of weird. We won't pick up the phone. We don't feel a need to text you or anything. And that's just a guy world.
It could all be so simple. So this next clip is gonna be just kind of give it like a backstory. It's the heart rate challenge, right? So this is what started all of the Shelly Herlandria like official hate train, where they were calling Shelly a mean girls, starting to say that they bullied Huda. So
Yeah.
there was there was a challenge where each contestant was trying to make the other person's heart rate go up the most, and whoever's heart rate went up the most, they would win the challenge. Like whoever was seductive enough to make another person's heart rate go up the most, then they would win. So everybody in the challenge was doing their best to like be sexy.
Yeah.
And so when it came to Huda and Chris and Ace and Shelly, at that point, Ace and Shelly were like locked in.
Yeah.
You know, they were coupled up and they had been together now going on like five weeks.
Yeah.
Or getting to know each other and, you know, deciding that they were gonna focus on one another. So Huda knew that, right? And so in this challenge, Shelly ends up being upset at Huda because she was like, you did way too much. Like you took it beyond the scope. You took it beyond the scope of what the challenge warranted.
But she was twerking, right?
Oh, we're going to play it? But hold on. And so she was like, you took it beyond what you needed to do. And so during the season, they didn't play the full clip. So Shelly felt like people didn't really see what it is that we all saw that was enough to make me upset.
Yeah.
And so during the reunion, they're like, we're going to play the full heart rate challenge so that, you know, America can see what Shelly saw and maybe get a good understanding of why she was so upset about it. So I got like the very last few seconds of the challenge. And then let's watch it and we'll talk about it.
This.
I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done.
So what we saw at the end was her 69ing, ass shaking with a thong on, in your so-called sisterhood friend, sister girls, main dude's face. And yes, it was a sexy challenge. Everybody was trying to be sexual. They were all on that platform together. Huda stayed on top of that man. They had walked back to their seats, and she was still on top of that man.
Okay.
Shaking her ass, putting her ass in his face with a G-string on. And he got a handful of them. You see it. He's in there.
Yeah.
And so from what I gather, Shelly's whole thing is, it wasn't that it was non-sexual. You took it too far as somebody who preaches the fact that you're my friend. And had I done that to Jeremiah when you were tweaking off of him, you would understand how it is that I feel.
Yeah.
And so that's the whole argument. I do think it's a lot.
Yeah.
It seemed like, you know, there's women who want what it is that you got just because you got it.
Yeah.
She may not even really wanted Ace, but she wanted Ace because Shelly had him. And so Huda's delusional fans are like, no, Ace likes Huda. Ace likes Huda. If Ace wanted Huda, he would have gotten Huda.
Yeah.
Because there were two dudes on there that did.
No, that's facts. Yeah, he would have pivoted. I mean, she was single for a little bit, right? Huda was single for like 2 episodes or something like that. He had opportunities is what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm saying. If that's where his interest was, that's where his interest would have landed.
Yeah.
And so I do understand that she overstepped in that you set the expectation of you being a girl's girl. You set the expectation of we're sisters.
Yeah.
Had that not been there, it's fair game. It is what it is. But you set this boundary to protect yourself. And then you didn't abide by it when it came to me. And that's why I don't deal with girls. And that's why I don't deal with sisterhood girls, because the rules don't apply to them.
Yeah.
The rules are for you to keep you in line and
keep
you
you
loyal.
in line. Because
And
she's a narcissist.
Yes. And I can't go for it. I'm not a sucker. I don't think Shelly's she's a sucker. Like it's like as a Black woman, I just feel like you just see things for what it is. You have to be extra perceptive because people just do so many like things like sneakily or insidiously, and it's like you gotta be clocking people because people be like, people be trying it. And if there's one thing that you know about me is that people be trying it. And I tell you all the time, babe. I'm like, babe, people, is it me? Am I tripping? And I'm always gonna check me first, right?
Yeah.
I'm a believer at the end of the day. It may not always seem like it, but it's like I love the Lord. And I don't always get it right. And so I know that in some situations I can be wrong. And when there is accountability for me to take, I'm looking for it. I want it.
Yeah.
I want to apologize to people. I want to do right by people. But once I get through all of that and I realize you're still the problem, I'm gonna crash out because at that point it's justified.
Yeah, I think most people are like that.
Yeah.
On the healthy side.
On the healthy side.
It's like if it's justified, I'm gonna crash out.
Right.
You gotta take it personal inventory and then you go, okay, like look.
Yeah.
I can apologize for this, but you still did this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty messed up, no?
Right.
And I mean, it's like you said, because for me, I see it as like, you guys are on a TV show, like, but at the same time, the dramas were real. I
No,
mean,
the
it's like,
drama was real.
and it's like her reactions to the stuff, the racial stuff was real. Like the transgressions
Mhm.
that she had on these like so-called friendships that she had with these women, like
Mhm.
were real. So I just saw at first I was like, oh, she's just being really competitive in this game. But
But
then you're like,
notice,
no, she's just really just about herself, and she's just really just like, if I'm not happy, no one's gonna be happy.
yeah, that too. But notice who were the contestants consistently that had these issues with Huda? The black contestants. The
Yeah,
black
that's
contestants.
true. I didn't really see a lot of the any of the
She didn't
non-black
come with
people really
them.
fight with her like that
She
either.
didn't come to them with that same kind of smoke. She did cuss out Iris, and Iris was afraid of her. Iris didn't say anything, so she let that go because
Yeah.
people had to pull Huda aside and say, "Hey, leave Iris alone.
Yeah.
Stop cussing out so and so. Stop doing this, this, and that." And so for me, what I the kind of the take that I got from it is that Huda is a non-black woman who has the aesthetic of a black woman. She built her body up to have a BBL looking body. She got the booty. She got her lips done. She is one of these non-black women who curated herself for the black male gaze.
Okay.
And she's used to being the preference to certain black men in certain rooms.
Well, she likes
right?
black. Well, she clearly, I mean, she likes black.
She likes black men. Her baby daddy's black.
Mhm.
And so she curated herself to look like a black woman.
Yeah.
So whether she perceives it or not, subconsciously she's competing with black women for black men.
Okay.
And that was
Bringing it
very
home.
apparent in this show.
Bringing it home.
And for me, I don't think Huda's not used to being chosen. Huda is not used to being around black men who like black women. The black men this season liked black women.
Yeah, pretty.
Shelly
specifically, it seems.
was the pick of this season. Every man wanted her. Every black man wanted her. All the white guys wanted her. Shelly was the prize this season. And I feel like she maybe was not used to being around black men who like, and even dare I say, prefer black women.
Yeah.
Because she's the foreign baddie with the long hair and the big booty and the big lips. This is what black men want. How dare they?
And
not
that's
do
what I
it?
was talking about in the beginning when I was just saying that, like, it's more adversarial.
Very
being a woman,
adversarial.
women's world is the women are more adversarial with each other than men are with each other. Socially. And
It's supply and
she
demand.
was it was pretty clear, I think, that like with like a lot of things make sense when they're explained by women. Like I'm just like, okay, I understand the beef now.
Yeah.
It's like, but I don't even know. I think it's just literally it's her personality because in the end, a lot of her actions didn't really benefit her. Like she didn't win. So it's like
Well, she left the villa with the most following. Her
sure
fandom
that.
is the most aggressive and
For sure-
scary.
for sure
and
that.
so it did benefit her I think in a short term, but not in the long run. And
she
it's
has to
like
start a podcast.
it goes back to like what Chris did, and that with somebody like that, you don't ask them to change; they can't. You put up boundaries to protect yourself, and that's what it was for me. You've seen me with certain friends where it's like I've waited on and hoped that they would change, and it just got to the point where it's like, no, I'm going to remove you from my life because you consistently hurt me.
Yeah.
And so that's what you do with narcissists. Like, I'm going to put up my boundary because I'm done asking you to change. And so this last clip,
Well said.
I'm sorry to cut you off,
Mhm.
honey, but this last clip that we're going to watch is the aftermath. So Ace, who is Shelly's counterpart now, they've left the villa. They were dating in the villa. They're still dating. I don't think they're boyfriend and girlfriend. And so Ace really has not done any interviews like that. He kind of got the reputation in the villa of being the ringleader. Like he was the one that was kind of telling the boys what to do. He would scheme up plans and get couples broken up and get people sent home. And so he kind of feels like he got portrayed in a really negative light, And since then, when he came out of the villa, in the regular world, he's received like a lot of hate. People make fun of his height. People are making him seem like, oh, he got this person sent home. He got that person sent home. Ace is a hater, this, and that. And so post Villa, he's kind of kept to himself. And so this is the first like real interview that he's done since leaving the villa. And it was like a day or two after the reunion. And so this interview has been circulating around like TikTok now, where it's kind of drumming up like a new hate train for him because, Nick and Alandria, they started, being put together in the villa.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who feel like their relationship is fake. I'm not one of them. I believe in the relationship. I do think they do genuinely like each other through, unforeseeable or maybe orchestrated events. I do think that there's something really there between them. And so when Speedy asked Ace this question about like, do you think Nick Alandria and, is real. Do you think Nick and Olandria really like each other? Ace gave his honest opinion,
Mhm.
and now he's being drugged all through TikTok. So let's watch this clip of him.
It's part of, the Love Island, experience. But my last conversation with Nick before I left was, it's, he finds her attractive, she finds him attractive, but they haven't found a romantic spark. And that was my conversation with him throughout this entire experience. He was saying that it was nothing more than a physical attraction. It was just not at that romantic spark level.
Yeah, that's what I remember too.
So people are dragging him because of this. Like, how dare you? Like, Olandria already has it so bad. She's supposed to be your friend. And mind you, he was shared during this interview too that him and Nick aren't really friends like that no more. He felt like Nick says one thing when they're together, and then when Nick gets in front of the camera, like he has like a PR answer or he's trying to protect his brand.
I feel like that too, frankly.
Oh, really?
I don't think any of this is any of the relationships are real. Any of the forefront people.
Yeah.
The people who are just like the other ones, those have more reality to it. Because when you have a real relationship, you're not speaking on it like this. Like, and there's very few relationships that I think any of us have seen that can maintain like being on the forefront of a spotlight where all your business is out. It's just not going to happen. And he did say that. They said that in like one of the last episodes I saw was them basically agreeing to having this mutual attraction, but nothing more. So when they came off and it's all this, I had said, I was like, yo, it would be a great PR thing for both of them to get together because they're beautiful. Everybody wants them to work out. They're multiracial. They've got all these good things, and they seem like decent people. So, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's far fetched. I just think people want it to be real.
And great point that you made. And honestly, this interview made me realize, like, okay, like as a viewer, we didn't see the things that he saw.
Right.
He has a perspective on the situation that we don't. And so there's a bit of a confirmation bias there where I'm like, I feel like we as Nicolandria Nation can want things to be true so bad that we attack anything that's contrary to that. I do believe their relationship is genuine. I don't think they're doing it for, clout. But I also don't want to discount Ace's opinion, somebody who has a perspective on it that none of us don't. He was there. So if he's saying like, man, I don't know, I don't think that's something to drag him for. I don't think it's something to attack him for because they're like, oh, he's a hater. He thinks that should be him and Shelly. Like just basically, again, now we're attacking another black man. The contestants who are being attacked the most are the black contestants. And it's other black people in the audience that are doing it. It's like, come on, people.
Here's what I think.
Here's
one thing I'll say. It might sound a little contradictory to what I just said, but I am aware of the fact that because he's also because the dude Nick has said like we're not official. We're just dating.
Yeah.
So it is. So in that way, it is realistic. They're just like, yeah, we're just dating. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not realistic. I just don't do. I think that they're ever gonna, if it's ever gonna be like a really actual relationship? No, I don't. I think they're just doing this for right now. He might even put a title on it for a little bit, but then they'll break up. That's what always happens to every single person from every single relationship show on every reality TV show I've ever seen. They all break up. 90 Day Fiance, freaking like Love is Blind. They all break up. They all divorce, whatever. So I don't think people should get too caught up in that. They shouldn't be fighting. Because like the dude, even his response, it wasn't even a malicious response.
That's what I'm saying.
He said everything where there are receipts for the things that he said. So it's like people just they got to be careful, not get their realities all warped up in all this stuff. Like this is their life. This isn't your life. It is entertainment. It'd be if they do beat the odds and they do get in a relationship, that would be interesting too. You know what I'm saying? But it's not the serious to be having all this legit anger. It's legit hate towards people.
Vitriol, and I think you said it really well. And to, land this plane, I think I have rode the roller coaster of Love Island, and Ace's interview kind of gave me like a nice way to deplane because I realized that I had gotten back to normal when I was able to listen to something I didn't agree with. I want Nicolandria to be true. I want to believe that the way Nick is loving Olandria is genuine, and I do believe it. And so hearing somebody say, or maybe question it, that doesn't rock my world. You know, I'm sane enough to listen to his opinion and not agree, and realize also this is not somebody who needs to be attacked. This is not somebody who,
Right.
you know, needs to be made fun of. And even with all the opinions that I have about Huda, like, you know, it had came out that certain people had called CPS and, you know, did just, you know, I don't play when it comes to kids. If whoever did that, like, you're weird. Kids are innocent. Leave
Very
them out
weird.
of it. As much as I don't agree with Huda's character from the things that I've seen on TV, she also does not deserve hate. She also does not deserve, you know, death threats or anything like that.
Death
I don't
threats is
like her
crazy.
as a woman, but it's like if I see something with Huda in it, I just keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Like I don't park in the comments and make myself a professor
Yeah.
and, you know, start you know, doing whatever. I waited till my own platform to talk about it. If I see something I don't agree, I just go on with my
Yeah.
life. And so Love Island is over.
Yeah.
Let's go on with our
Go to
lives.
work,
They will never
read a book, watch a
see
good
me
TV
again.
show,
I'm never watching that
read
show
your
again.
Bibles.
Read your Bibles, drink some water,
Yeah.
go
Stay
touch,
hydrated.
touch some grass, and let this be the finale for you, because I
Yeah.
even feel like the reunion could have gave more. And so Ace's interview kind of feel like I gave me the rest of the crumbs that it needed. And so for me, wrapping it up with my own podcast is the dessert to this trash meal. And so
You know what, too?
I'm
Bring
doing
back
it.
Terrace House, okay? Bring back Terrace House.
They don't know what that is.
Yes,
They're not
they
hip like
do.
that, baby.
People
They're
do.
not cool.
People do know what Terrace
Okay,
House
y'all
is.
are cool.
Go on
watch
Netflix,
Terrace
watch
House.
the episodes of Terrace House that's up there. Just you don't. It's a proof. Before I saw that, I thought you had to have drama in reality TV. You just need a little bit.
Well, it's just Americans. Where our brains are addicted to drama, and I'm saying are because I'm part of the problem too.
Yeah,
But
we watched it. We watched it. You know, it is what it is.
I want to say thank you so much for always being down to be a guest host, a co-host, my news anchor, my bed partner, my husband, my all the things. I really value and appreciate your opinion and insights on this. And so I want to say thank y'all for watching. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. I want to hear some of y'all opinions on this. You may not like my takes. That's okay. You know, on this channel, I'm open to disagreeing. I live for it, honestly. I love to be agreed with, but this is a place where we can agree to disagree respectfully. So I want to hear your thoughts on Love Island, and make sure that you share this episode with somebody. And I'll see you guys in a week or two. Thank you, honey. Bye, guys.
Thank you.